Neo San Francisco, 2064 AD. The world thrives on a constant flow of groundbreaking technology. Neo San Francisco, 2064 AD. The world thrives on a constant flow of groundbreaking technology. Cybernetic augmentation and genetic modification allow the repair and enhancement of almost any part of a human body. Millions of people jack into virtual worlds every day to work, play, and connect with one another with advanced brain-to-machine technology. Easier access to genetic modification leaves hybrids walking the streets, looking less human every day. However, some can't keep up with the fast-paced changes around them. They say that ROMs, now commonplace thanks to Parallax, are leading humans to a place where we can never come back, losing the survival skills that we have relied on for millennia. Relationship organizational managers are compiled with virtual intelligence and can seem human-like in their interactions. But despite the marketing hype, at their core, they are only brainless machines. Organizations, like the Human Revolution, seek to slow the relentless pace of progress, fearing that unchecked technology will make us lose the very things that make us human. High above the rising tension below, a Parallax engineer has learned upon humanity's destiny will be altered forever.
Oh, it may have come up in the last lunch meeting we had, but Sympathy assured me that it was some kind of technical glitch, and our support people were on top of it. They're top-notch, the absolute best money can buy. So I don't think there's anything more to say on the subject. That's very upsetting. I hope you've passed along that information to Sympathy. I'm certain our tech people will be able to find the culprit in short order once they know enough about it. I really don't know what I have to do with it, though. Need to know, and all that. I keep on top of the things that need my attention, and leave Sympathy to handle all the things that don't. My time is too important to be wasted on trivial things like minor technical glitches.
All right, that's enough. Charlie has a show to get ready for. He's told you everything he's going to. So get the hell out of here. If you find anything more interesting than what you got, come back and see me again. Directly.
Remember, I'm the victim in all this.
Oh man, she looks really cheesed off now. Do you know how snippy she can get? I better get her coffee ready. Maybe that'll calm her down.
We're very sorry if we made your day more difficult. Perhaps I could take the coffee over to Sympathy and we could try to smooth her rumpled feathers.
Yeah, okay, sure. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Oh no. On second thought.
It'll only take a minute.
All right, but she takes it with plenty of milk.
Okay, let's deliver this and make amends.
I thought I told you to beat it. Ha! Ah, that's cute. I promise I don't bite. I just have a job to do. Sometimes I think Charlie's hair gel seeps into his brain, but he brings in most of our revenue, so his happiness is our top priority. Now, Scram, you know how to get in touch with me if you need me.
That did not go well at all. We need some kind of leverage to get Mr. Nova to give us the information we want. I'm certain he knows something. Don't you agree? While you were talking to him, I took the opportunity to look into his history more thoroughly. It turns out he did a series of promos for a local Hassie bar early in his career, and some fans still spot him there from time to time. It's a long shot, but frankly, everything about this case has been one long shot after another. Maybe we should question the people at this Hassie establishment and look for any dirt we can use to put some pressure on Mr. Nova. There must be something. It's the only path I see. The Hassie Bar is located on Market Street, near the Genus Clinic. We can head there whenever you're ready.
isn't the luckiest jerk I've ever seen in my life. I had to schedule a specialist to come fix my ROM, and you better hope they can. Oh well, all's well that ends well. I underestimated how much people would appreciate an early Christmas. Anyway, what can I do for you? Sure, I still have a little bit before closing, and I can use some conversation to distract me from the anticipation of the VR drama I have waiting for me when I get off. What do you want to know? Charlie is a complete trip. We met when he was just starting out doing adverts. I love the guy. He's super funny, always has the best stories, and his hair is perfect. And he parties harder than anyone I know. A couple weeks ago, he invited... I swear, if he was in Charlie Nova, we would have gotten chucked out on our asses. But it was a lot of fun. If you want to meet him, just hang around here long enough. He loves mingling with his fans. Not that it helps his ego any.
This is pretty innocuous. We are going to need more evidence if we're to fabricate a believable story that will convince Mr. Nova it's in his best interest to help us.
Sure. Just let me know if you need anything. I'm always happy to help.
Oh, hey, it's you! Wow, long time.
Who's this?
Hey, not too old now. Did you manage to keep that plan I got you alive? Really? Nice job. I didn't expect it to last a month. It's great to see you, though. Sorta surreal, too. You're never around on social sites or anything, you know. I'll bet you didn't see any of the pictures I put up from my last climbing trip in Colorado. For a tech journalist, you do have pretty poor net presence.
That's what I said.
Figures. So, what's with the bot? Yours? Really? Huh. I didn't... Anyway, it's great to see you. What... All right, now that's the kind of journalism I'm talking about.
Indeed, we're looking into some accusations made against Charlie Nova. And we're actually trying to build up a solid case against him.
No shit. I actually may have exactly what you need. Charlie comes here all the time. You know that show he's host of, Star in the Stratosphere? That show where normal people try to become actors and singers and all. Listen to this recording I made when he was here last month on his book tour.
So many people come up to me thinking that if they can sing or act, I'll just make them a superstar. But that isn't how it works. Raw talent isn't enough to get you by in this industry, and anyone who thinks so is lying to themselves. It takes hard work and persistence. You gotta want it, and want it bad. But the kids I get on Star in the Stratosphere, which I host each and every week, as you all know, they're all so young and hungry. I love them. I do my damnedest to make sure they get what they want. They give me their best, so I'm gonna give them mine.
It's not much, and it might help you build a case if you chop it up right. Just keep my name off it. I post hiking pictures, not scandals. Well, if nothing else, the threat of this dropping on the mess should get them talking. Here, I just made a copy for you. Anyway, I'd love to catch up soon. For now, I'll let you keep at it. You can usually find me here if you want to chat again.
Say, why did you tell Keith that... Very fair. You may continue to run with that as your story with those who don't or shouldn't know the truth about me. Anyway...
I haven't seen you around here before. Is there something I can... another... Yeah. I don't really get why everyone likes him so much. Well, I have a picture from this time he flipped. Somebody brought them to try to get... He ended up taking it home, but he really hammed it up. I think he ended up calling him... It was pretty funny, actually.
Frankly, I'm starting to feel a bit uneasy about this. Mr. Nova's clearly an upstanding individual, if just a bit boisterous. But I suppose if we're in for a penny, we're in for a pound. This should be more than enough anecdotal evidence to fabricate a less than flattering image of Mr. Nova that the public will eat right up. Let us present our story to him immediately. Hopefully our delay has not put him in physical danger.
Hey, you two! I think I'm gonna have to let security know that you're not allowed back. Doubtful. Never let it be said I didn't give someone a chance to dig their own grave.
So what? I like to show... There's nothing wrong with that.
Damn it, I told you to get off the crash, Charlie. Shit like this keeps coming up.
I did. And besides, I wasn't doing anything illegal.
Anyway, this is just pathetic. This is really your best attempt at blackmailing?
Hey, that's complete... And I love... Sure, we didn't get off to a good start.
Charlie, flipping off a kid? Whatever, this is still... You need to step up...
Ha! You just grasped... This speech was truly... There's no way an original sermon like...
Well, with some creative editing... You go public with this flimsy smear piece, I'm gonna tear you apart.
Oh, enough! Enough! I'm not cut out for this cloak and dagger game, Sympathy. What's the big deal anyway? It's not like they've got anything substantial to use. I might as well give them what they want, so they'll go away.
Tell them whatever you want. And I'll be taking that evidence.
You didn't have to do all of this. I would have helped if you had just asked. But it's always push and dig and needle, isn't it? I'm not a journalist. I'm just an anchor. I read off a teleprompter and look good doing it. I don't have much to offer you, but here's what I know. Trust me, I'd love to lay down some earth-shattering pronouncement and dazzle you with my investigative skills, but all I've got is flimsy threads at best. The thing is, all this stuff with my stories, stuff getting changed, making me look like I don't like the human race, it started after I had an upgrade made to my VR uplink hardware. The technically legal kind. Look, I like to have a good time at a party, right? But Sympathy keeps hammering on me for pounding back too much crash and whatnot. Nothing illegal, but she says it makes me look like shit on camera the next day.
So I went to this guy I know. Good guy. Everyone uses him. He's called Nanya. He does great work. After just one simple back alley brain surgery, bing bang boom. I can use an app to make my VR uplink have the same effect on my brain that the stims do, without all the nasty physical side effects. It could be a coincidence, though. The tech guys didn't find anything wrong with my uplink, and they say the modifications check out. But that Nanya guy does a lot of work for media people around here, so if a bunch of posts are getting changed, maybe that's your weak link. Anyway, that's it. Pretty flimsy, but I'll... if he'll even... Well, we took far too long to get to it, but... just make sure you source me. Maybe run a rough draft past me. I'm certain that'll help signal boost the story all the way to the stratosphere. Give it the old Charlie Nova bump. Maybe we can smooth out all this silliness between us. Anyhow, let me know how it goes with the murderous hacker thing. My ROM will call...
This looks like the spot. I'm awfully nervous. Let's hurry. You don't even know.
Howdy! Our aerodynamic assault will rain down on you from...
Hey there.
Hold up this. I've never seen the two of you around here. Why don't you let me know what's going on here first?
Hello? We're just here to speak.
Just got into town and you already... Kiss.
What? No. Listen, we don't want any trouble.
Trouble? We can be friends. I like this one. You're a little more strict. No, I like you too. And since we're all... maybe you'll be willing to give back to the community and do a favor for your new pal Formula. You see, I'm a budding... working on my next big hit. But I'm sort of stuck on a few lines. Maybe you could share a little of your creativity with me.
Are you... You know how important time is...
You don't have time.
Huh?
What do you helping an up-and-coming singer-songwriter finish? Or you could ignore me and... You see, I know for a fact that everything inside this shop here is 100% legal. Even if they didn't find anything. People like you don't come down. We clean up good. How well do you cover your tracks when you're in...
This isn't good. If Lexi in particular gets suspicious and starts tracking us down, things will become rougher for us. Not to mention all the other... This whole case is...
Kind of a dramatic... But I made my point clear. If you don't help me out, I'll make sure you never get in to see Nanya at all. He's my buddy. Done me a favor or two, so I return him when I'm asked. That's how we do things. I knew you'd see it. All you gotta do, a couple of them are just missing a word or two, but if I really want to make this song, it's gonna be super cred. Anyway, you gonna give it a shot? Here's the first line. You ready? It's my favorite season, only comes once a year. I'll show you the true meaning of, hang on a second. It's my favorite season, only comes once a year. I'll show you the true meaning of my holiday cheer. Hey, yeah! Great idea, thanks a ton. Here's the next line. Ready? Pay attention now. If you bring mistletoe, you knock me off my guard. And if you want my number, You know, for this one, I'm gonna need some If you've got anything to show me that you... If you bring mistletoe, hey, that totally works. Really, thanks so much.
A Christmas-themed love song? Aren't those supposed to be...
Alright, now I need your help. This one's been driving me... Ready? This is harmony. I think we're vibing the same tones. We can ride this beat with a... This is getting embarrassing. There's no way to... Don't lose hope. This is harmony. I think we're vibing the same tone. That doesn't rhyme. Oh, man. You might need to find some more. I'm gonna keep thinking. But
Haven't you ever... Wait, those are... I have 6... This is harmony. I think we're vibing the same tones. We can ride this beat with a pair of yummy Christmas scones. He does know...
Now that's what I call a tasty beat. That was... Whatever you do for work now, it doesn't matter. You should become a musician. We totally become rivals. On second thought, you keep your day job. This is my territory. But you did help out, and go on in and see Nanya whenever you want. I'll just be chilling out here, soaking up the...
Here, you can keep the dough. It was nice.
Hey, you too, little Bob Blue. Hey,
Let's go.
Nope. Nope. You got someone willing to vouch for you? Moolah? Keeps out the riffraffing. But seriously. Charlie? Yeah. Paid good enough. Alright then.
You are none.
Sure, if that's what... If your credit's clear. You can call me whatever. Enough foreplay. What can I do for you? A fresh install, custom firmware, maybe an upgrade? I can pretty much do it all. But most people come in here for VR implants. Turns out brain surgery is expensive, yeah?
We're in a bad situation. Local news articles are being mysteriously altered after they've been posted to the mesh, even while the originals are still online. Charlie Novas are being manipulated as well, and he pointed... It didn't start happening until after he had his implant upgraded.
What are you, cops? No, we're... Get the hell out of my shit! I have a business to run. I don't have time to answer shit about... You found the door before? And tell Charlie he can get someone else to do him a rush job when he's back on stims and needs a workaround. He ain't welcome around.
Give us a moment. I don't know about you, but I'm getting tired of being given the... We could just find some bribe or blackmail to get what we want from this Nanya. I have an idea. Just do what you normally do. Nothing about the blog post, though. We don't want to... It'll only take a minute.
Are you gonna get going, or am I gonna have to call someone... Damn straight. I didn't.
We were just hoping to get some more background information on the kind of implant he had.
Shit. Fine. I'll tell you what you want. With doctor-patient confidentiality and all that. Just promise me it'll get you the hell out of my shop a little soon.
Deal. Sorry for this. Our circumstances have gotten serious. We're following anything we can all the way to the end.
There's no way to hack a VR implant like Charlie's. I mean, you can definitely install hostile firmware on one, but you can't just load whatever program you want without the user's knowledge. Any changes to the loaded firmware will trigger some really obvious visual indicators to let you know something's being changed, and those are put in on the hardware level. I've never heard of anyone being able to circumvent them. The only person who could have loaded hostile firmware on there is me. And don't try and go there. I get paid too much to risk my reputation over changing a few blog posts.
What about using the mesh to mess with the implant? Is there some way to...
No, the implant itself doesn't have any kind of wireless connection. You have to use a headset with an induction coil for I/O. Wireless just doesn't have the bandwidth for it. You might be able to try infecting a ROM with some virus that screws with the I/O, but you only use a connection to a ROM for AR HUDs. They can't handle full simulation.
You'd need a full rig and a hardline connection to the net to do that. So, I'd give it a big maybe. If that's actually how it all happened, they probably would have found whatever infected his ROM way before you showed up here to bother me.
Could it have just been faulty parts? Not to be too... Maybe your supply...
Damn it. Look, I get it. I'm working out of an old auto garage on the bad side. But I'm a fully licensed cyber surgery It isn't illegal to install custom parts or firmware in any current generation implants. It just breaks the warranty. My business keeps a low profile so we don't run into bogus patent infringement lawsuits from Flower Cybernetics or whatever shell company they decide to come after you with. All of my parts are sourced direct from the original manufacturer, completely above board. So if they're bad, they were built bad by the factory. Now, is that all? Yeah.
You may not know this, but I have a finely tuned sense of electromagnetic fields. All ROMs do. We need to be able to maintain optimal contact with the mesh, catalog and use various wireless transmissions, and avoid areas with dangerously high interference. Your stock off-the-shelf ROM has very little command over the frequencies available to be scanned. But I'm starting to realize how very little of me is stock or off-the-shelf after the changes Hayden made. That means when the humidity is low, the air fairly sings for me, amongst other things. Meaning, in layman's terms, I could read his monitor over his shoulder while being across the room. Well, I doubt I could have handled an LCD monitor. They require extra parts I just don't have. And the fidelity is a bit low. Anyways, Nanya looked up his client records on Charlie, and I got some of the names of his other customers off of the spreadsheet. One in particular stands out, Shotaro Otsuka. As if everything else in this wild goose chase hasn't been. Mr. Otsuka is a moderately prominent tech blogger, respected, perhaps a bit vitriolic. He catches my attention though because historically he has been very critical of Parallax in his posts. Recently though, the tone has been increasingly moderate, and now he is almost effusive in his praise. His fans are accusing him of shilling for the company, but many of his earliest posts show some of the same manipulations that we saw from Augmented Eye, and now it's like he's being ghosted. I've marked the location of After you. This is the building. Mr. Otsuka must do well for... Not the priciest section of Neo SF, but nice enough for a self-employed tech blogger. Perhaps we should just... We both know it won't be that easy.
Greetings, guest. I am LJ2, Shotaro Otsuka's ROM. Shotaro was not expecting any company. Sorry for the wait. Please...
That's encouraging. That was odd. Maybe try the bell.
Greetings, guest. Shotaro was not expecting any... Sorry for the wait.
What is taking? All right. Once more, with feeling.
Greetings, guest. I am... Shotaro was not Sorry for the wait.
Why can't this Thank Hayden for... Well, that's that. Let's see if we can find...
Hey! Nice to meet you. You weren't prepared for the weather, huh? Your ROM looks fancy enough to keep track of that. My gym's closed this week for the holiday.
Mr. Otsuka's apartment is on the fire escape should get... We just need something to let... I'm sure there's some piece of detritus or loose... Oh, that's how... Did you know that palm trees used to be... How do we reach...
You weren't prepared for the weather.
About that.
You want my umbrella?
Not for the weather. We need to use the...
Oh, you live here and lost your key card, huh? But look, as much as... Where I come from, see, we're all a...
Gym culture?
Sorry, but unless you've got any... Don't want to get wet. Hey, is this real?
You know him?
Of course I do! Can I please have this?
I think it's a...
Thanks! This is so exciting!
Call him. Oh well, now we have our... Don't even think about trying to boost... Excellent work! This window... I'm not sure. My olfactory sensors detect It's That's better. Let's take a look around. Shotaro must be plugged into the... I feel like I... Ah! Nothing.
Hello, guest. Shotaro has been a bit under the weather. He is trying very hard to keep up with his deadlines.
We just checked.
Is there anything else I'm... Shotaro has been under the weather. He rarely has visitors or goes on outings. In fact, you were the first... Several days, in fact. Perhaps you could... He is. Shotaro... If you are a reader of his work, his next significant... I run regular self-checks. I appreciate your concern. If you think I am behaving... Very well.
Maybe we can try... Oh no! It looks like he's been here for a couple of days, maybe a little longer. That means whoever did this, did it before we even... Stabbed in the chest, right through the back of the chair. Looks like it severed his carotid artery. I don't want to make any assumptions, but I can't help but wonder if his ROM doesn't even think anything is wrong. We need to hurry. If I'm right, everyone we've talked to so far is in someone is... We have to find his computer so I can see if I can... You interrogate... Maybe you can find...
Shotaro has been a bit... He is trying very hard.
That's okay. We'll wait.
Is there anything else I might...
It shut itself down again. Let's see if we can pull some... Start down. I finished my exam. I didn't find anything particularly. If we're all done here, we should hurry and go warn Nanya. They might be in a... Let's head for Nanya.
Shit! What the hell? Wait, let me guess. You stole some of my files, or hacked my brain, or used telepathy or something. That close enough?
That is distressing.
Well, it wasn't much of a damn... Charlie Nova is dead.
What? Charlie is...
The auto cab he was in drove him right off the bridge and into the bay. It's been all over the news for the last 10 minutes, and I'm getting the hell out of NeoSF, and I'm gonna forget that I ever saw you, ever knew Charlie, ever gave a shit about... Hell, maybe I'll pick up a new... I'm less likely to get murdered for being a fry cook. That's for damn sh... Have a good life!
Oh no! No! There was no one in that car! No heat signatures, no wireless emissions, nothing! That wasn't even an auto cab! It's a manual! I don't know! That's it! This is too much! Almost everyone we've talked to so far, we're not investigating this lead as of right now. Logically, we haven't set out to harm anyone. But someone is using us as a stalking horse, hiding behind our investigation to clean up whatever this is. If they want to keep taking out people involved in this, we don't have it. Thank you for... We have more pressing avenues of inquiry to make. Let's move on. Well, we should go to Melody's home and at least... Oh, I'm sorry. I was wool gathering. I see we've arrived at the Melody Flora. But that's to be expected, considering that she is still the majority owner of the Flower Cybernetics Group, despite retiring from day-to-day operations at the company. I wonder how she and... Sorry, back on... Is there any... No time like the... Your guess? Mine says... Should we? Oh, wow! Swanky! What? I have been trying to increase my usage of colloquialisms. Is Swanky?
It's certainly before...
Oh, Ms. Flores! Excuse us for the
Oh, I know who you are.
Hey, I can explain. I know you don't like Dr. Fairlight very much.
Fairlight? I didn't realize Hayden's research had become a check. Though I suppose little boy Yannick will throw money at anything that raises his profile on the mesh.
Wait, you know Hayden? Also, we actually only just met Dr. Fairlight yesterday.
Oh, that's too bad. Now Pat won't have to eat you.
What?
Though I'm not sure your gears would have been good for his digestion.
Actually, madam, I'm not comprised of gears.
Well, either way. This philosophy is how I lead my life. Sometimes you eat the bear, and sometimes the bear, well, he eats you. Do you understand?
Not really.
Look, I don't have all day to entertain you, Turing, nor your new... You don't have time to waste if you're going to find him, either.
Right. Melody keeps up. Ursus Maritimus, if I'm not mistaken. That might be why the temperature controls are set so low in here. I wasn't aware you knew the science. Ooh, has my interest in proper nomenclatures? Plenty. Have you heard of a Kermode bear, also known as a spirit bear? But he's not. It's a
If you were one of Fairlight's worker bees, you wouldn't have made it through the door.
You have me at a disadvantage, Ms. Flor.
Just call me Melody, darling. And of course. But I'll share a secret or two with you.
I have so many questions. Do you know what's happened to Hayden?
I wish I didn't. Maybe you...
Please, Melody. We haven't had access to any of his research notes. Perhaps if we know more...
Well, I don't know if I can speculate on that, beyond the usual corporate infighting. Not that Parallax is known. We had been catching up recently, and he mentioned feelings of being watched. He started to worry he had been discussing your development with the wrong people. When he stopped returning my calls, and now that you've shown up with a total stranger, it becomes clear what happened.
I see. Can you...
Oh, I'm afraid not, dear.
We were hoping you might be... Fairlight mentioned that you had worked with Hayden in the past.
I see Hayden didn't neglect curiosity in your personality makeup. Well, you and I haven't properly met, but considering how often Hayden badgered me for design schematics of Flower's latest neural implants, I might as well be your aunt? We'll go with that. I wouldn't mind being an aunt, even to a blue-headed robot.
I'm touched, Melody.
Well then, I'm willing to answer your questions, for now.
Indeed, I don't see the connection between your company and Hayden's research into machine sapience.
Oh, Hayden wasn't researching machine sapience. At least not primarily. Not to diminish the importance of your creation, Turing. But it's best. Hayden is mainly interested in developing a way to transfer human consciousness into a machine matrix. You can see why neural implants would obviously be an integral part of that.
Oh, I didn't realize...
The concept of transferring the human mind into a computer has been an attractive goal for decades. Functional immortality is... powerful lure. The brain is an immensely complicated machine, and even though we know the right buttons to push to make pictures show up, we still can't replicate the entire thing as a technological construct. Even with the virtual reality implants, we're really just relying on the brain's ability to make sense of nonsensical signals. So Hayden decided the best way to make a machine more like the human brain would be to work in the opposite direction. Instead of mimicking how the human brain worked, he started writing code that mimicked the functioning of the human mind. Think of it like convergent evolution. Two species adapt in similar ways, but on completely different continents. Hayden is a crack programmer when it comes to information collating. It's why Parallax hired him when they did. So he wrote a bunch of self-modifying learning algorithms that were, frankly, baffling and let them loose. Poke and prod them here and there to make sure they value the same things humans do. And we eventually end up with you, Turing.
Interesting. Hayden never revealed any...
I imagine he's pretty... You were the first prototype he considered a real success, and he was afraid of contaminating your development before he had a chance to make good observations. It's a small city, and if you're in the tech sector, you are never more than 2 degrees removed from anyone else. When he started looking into this pet project of his, he came right up cheeky, but it was impactful and disruptive, as they like to say around here. I couldn't care less about Flowers' patents anymore, so I gave him what he wanted, just to see what he would do. I'm frankly more impressed than I expected I would be, but don't tell him that.
Don't worry. I won't.
Oh, that was a compliment. I didn't say that. Hayden was quite interested in Turing, even if he is just a step to further research. In fact, he was preparing to publish his findings involving Turing, and I know it's going to make one heck of a splash in the scientific community. See, the most impressive part about you, Turing, is that you're surprisingly stock.
I assure you, Melody, my construction involves only the latest and greatest in ROM prototype technology.
Exactly. You're not off the shelf, but you're still just a souped-up ROM, more or less like every other one out there. Your personality algorithms are impressive, but they don't require some new space-age technology to work. Hayden is going to propose that human consciousness transference does not require special brain-like hardware architecture, but merely the right software wrapper to interface with the hardware. Much like how you function.
I suppose that is correct. Still, my personality matrices do take up substantial amounts of my processing power. Wouldn't custom hardware have capabilities that better serve such a demanding specialized task?
Sure. There's still plenty of reason in trying to make a computer that works just like a human brain. Efficiency is an important part of that. But if Hayden can emulate the human mind in existing technology, it means we can start the immortality now, rather than waiting for hardware to catch up with Hayden's software. Frankly, I'm not terribly interested in living forever, but there's more than enough people who are.
Thank you for this, Melody. I understand so little of my origins.
Well, I'm sorry I don't know more of the specifics. Hayden kept me up to date on his progress, but if you can hunt down his notes, I'm sure they'll tell you more.
Of course, we'll keep looking. Now...
Sure. Oh, hell, that old bastard and I have been flashing daggers at each other for the better part of 20 years. I contracted out the software development for our first-gen direct-link VR neural implants to System 1. Things were going great, but after the first models sold like gangbusters, Yannick tried to get into bed with me, literally. I turned him down, very politely, I might add, and then we've been at it back and forth ever since. He's a snake. Still, I suppose if he tried again now, I might not turn him down. It would be fun to needle him about me still having my own company when he doesn't have his. They all want... Can't you wait for my autobiography? Pinky promise.
We don't want to pressure you, Melody, but...
Oh.
Of course.
Fine. Well, Mommy Dearest first started the company half a century ago and quickly let it turn from a cutting-edge medical research group into a Department of Defense super soldier cyborg factory. I took over when she got lymphoma and had to fight tooth and nail to turn Flower into something that churned my guts. Now we're back to making medical tech and consumer neural implants rather than brains inside tin cans with lasers strapped to the front. If the US government wants more war-grade cyborgs, then they'll have to get them elsewhere, never mind them being banned by the Geneva Convention. Well, that's the gist of it, minus the sordid details of 2 decades of office.
It seems...
Well, I'm happy. I mean, I still own the debt. I let the current CEO and board do what they want, with the understanding that I will shit-can them if they do anything egregiously asinine. Like, say, create more cyborg assassin war machines. These days, I mostly spend my time talking to Pat and practicing my painting.
You paint? What a...
Nothing fantastic, just still life, mostly. I'll never be known for my artistic skills, but I enjoy it. It's very meditative, isn't it?
I agree very much. I look... Would you mind taking a look at my work?
Well, we can play a little show and tell later.
It's a date.
Pat is a prototype as well. Flower had a short-lived project that attempted to use neural implants to increase the cognitive power of non-human animals. It worked, to an extent. Pat's smarter than the average bear, but not by much. Be quiet. After the project was squashed, mostly for being a money pit, Pat was the only surviving success story. The eggheads didn't know what to do with him, so I decided to keep him around here. He's not a bad companion, if a tad taciturn. Oh, give it up, Pat. You're no Shakespeare. Good. I can get back to...
Thank you for your time, Mel.
Oh, one more piece of info. I've got the contact info for a Vincent Mensa, who Vincent was working more closely with Hayden inside Parallax, mostly on his company-approved research on data collating algorithms for the mesh. I'll send him a message. He owes me a favor anyway, and...
That would be fantastic, Melody. Perhaps Golden Gate Park.
Be careful, Turing. I don't like Fairlight's stench all over this scenario.
Cards? This euphemism is unfamiliar to me.
Don't tell him anything if you can. Fairlight is more dangerous the more he's informed.
Thank you, Aunt Melody.
Can I help? I don't really have time.
Are you... We're here for a meet...
Oh, good! Do you have everything that I asked for?
There must be some... Melody said that you would be able to provide us with some He has gone missing.
Damn that old woman.
What?
We had a deal. She promised me, and I'm not giving... I already know Hayden is missing. Why else would I be willing to sell corporate secrets to Flower? Instead, she sends the... I'm assuming you're Hayden's little...
Insulting, but accurate.
Look, I'm sorry to come off callous. I do want to help. Hayden was a colleague and a friend, and I want to know... But I also need help getting the hell out of Neo SF, and now. I'll just have to find another buyer. Maybe after I make another deal.
Perhaps. My friend here is a terrific journalist.
I don't... Look, I need 100,000 credits, an untraceable car, and a fake passport for me and my wife, Francesca. If you can get me all that, I'll give you anything you want. Hayden's research notes, what I know about Parallax, my company's security credentials, whatever. If you're really sure journals can come up with that kind of stuff in one day. Might? Dear God, I'm doomed.
Melody only gave us a rough sketch of what you need. The more you can tell us about the situation...
Sure. As long as it... Because Parallax is rotting from the inside out. Hayden going missing is the last straw, and it's a big-ass straw. There is... There's a new project about to roll out, and it's going to change. Since the launch of the MeshNet, we've had some board shakeups, and the people at the top are different. The altruism the company displayed in the past is gone. They're harder, more ruthless, and more concerned with profits and power than ever before. Not just richest company in the Valley power either. My guess? Parallax got rid of Hayden because he was about to do something that would get in the way of that. If they're willing to get rid of the brightest mind on their payroll, what's to stop them from getting rid? So I'm getting out before I accidentally step on the wrong... Nothing concrete. I probably wouldn't have noticed anything out of the ordinary. I mean, Hayden goes out for a couple days all the time, right? Conferences, and he doesn't exactly share his... I tried asking around. If he had jumped ship, went to a different company, it would be the talk. Instead... Thankfully, he allowed me to keep backups of most of his work, simply because I cross-referenced it so much. He didn't like having it all in one place anyway. Bring me what I asked for, and I'll tell you more. I'm the head applications engineer for their data analysis division. Or maybe, well, if Hayden is the big brain who comes up with the math that runs the search algorithms, I'm the guy who figures out how to collect and apply the data that we get. We've worked pretty closely for years, but he's head and shoulders above me as far as theory goes. Hayden built a fully independent machine intelligence in his spare time. Don't get me wrong, I'm a good software engineer, probably one of the best. But machine intelligence? In a form factor like yours? Now that blows my mind. We've got full immersion, virtual reality, yet most people would still call you science fiction.
If you say so.
I need to make some calls, and this park ROM is fun. I want to poke at it a bit. If you do manage to get what I need, bring it here today and you'll get anything you want. Forwarding photos and info for the passports to Turing now. And I'd rather give it to you than some other. See you soon.
I'm not quite sure where to get fake. The only shady folks we know are those I doubt they could point us in the right direction. They might agree to help us in repayment for the damage done to the apartment. They seemed remorseful. We should check Market Street for them, in case. As for the rest, perhaps that certainly is no small amount, but is unlikely to cause much consternation for either of them. Melody is assumably home as usual. We could ask. Up to you to decide which.
Welcome back! The cold weather. But I refuse to relent in our mission, Rain. That is the greatest. They would have you believe that we'd run. Oh, sure, the human revolution wants people to go back to washing clothes by hand. We do not advocate for a reverse. We merely want severe limitations on genetic enhancements and a focus